Sometimes you're going to be in a situation where someone's just a better fighter than you. And I'm talking self-defense. I'm talking real life, on the street self-defense. I'm not talking competition. I'm not talking being in the cage. I'm not talking wrestling tournaments. I'm talking real life situations. Sometimes the guy might be bigger than you, stronger than you, faster than you, and you're cooked. Maybe you don't know how to fight. You know what I'm saying? And you're cooked. There's just no way around it. You're cooked. But in this video, we're going to go over a few ways you can beat somebody who's actually better than you at fighting in a self-defense scenario, real life scenarios. So first off, something that's highly underrated is pepper spray. I walk around with pepper spray. I keep pepper spray on me. I keep other things on me as well, but pepper spray I keep on me. People ask me all the time, you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, you're a professional fighter, you've been training martial arts your whole life. Why would you have pepper spray? You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. If I get into a real life scenario, let's say there's multiple attackers or something like that, boom, pepper spray, uppercut, head kick. I'm gonna hit you with the pepper spray so you can't see. Then I'm gonna hit you with a head kick and put you down quick. You know what I'm saying? Pepper spray is just great. It's a really good tool, especially if you're fighting somebody who's better than you, or if you're fighting potentially multiple attackers in the real life scenario on the street. You know what I'm saying? Let's say somebody has a weapon, right? They have a knife, a knife hand-to-hand combat scenario, and you have pepper spray. You hit them with that pepper spray, boom. Now you have a better chance, and pepper spray is something that you can very easily carry on you with no problem. If you're a very small person, maybe you're very short and very small, and you're fighting somebody who is just bigger than you, stronger than you, faster than you, more aggressive than you, you better have that pepper spray on you. Take out their eyes. There's weak spots on everybody's body. Like the idea of 100 men versus one gorilla. 100 men will win because regardless of how strong a gorilla is, everybody has weak spots. That's what you learn in every video game, right? You fight the boss and you have to go for their weak spots, regardless of how strong they are or whatever. Every single person, it doesn't matter if you're Brock Lesnar, it doesn't matter if you're John Jones, it doesn't matter if you're Billy Badass. Everybody has weak spots on their body. And those spots are the liver, the chin, behind the ear, the temple, the eyes, the nuts, the knees. These spots are vulnerable on every single person's body. So that's why the 100 men will beat the one gorilla, regardless of how strong the gorilla is. But to get back to it, how to beat somebody who's better than you, in this video, we're going to mostly focus on pepper spray. The pepper spray, boom, you hit them with the pepper spray. Now they're not able to see, right? Or they're having trouble seeing. Now is when you're going to go for the vulnerable spots on the body. The liver, behind the ear. You hit them behind the ear, boom, they're going to be kind of dizzy. And you can either choose to get away and get to safety, or you can hit them with a finishing move, with a head kick or something like that. Being in shape. Every single person should be in extreme cardio shape. Let's take it back to the gorilla, 100 men versus the gorilla. The gorilla is ridiculously strong, right? But it doesn't have much cardio, and it doesn't have a great endurance system. Us as humans, we're endurance animals. There's multiple places in Africa. I believe the Maasai, they go and they will chase lions and cheetahs and things like this until their heart gives out. They will run and chase them for like days until their heart gives out. Our bodies are made for high endurance. So with that being said, you should have your body trained for endurance. Most people out here do not have their body trained for endurance. So if you're going to fight somebody who's better than you in a real life scenario, I'm talking life or death, real life, you must fight this person. Someone breaks into your house in the middle of the night, you must fight them. They just have their hands. You must fight them. You better be in shape endurance-wise, you know, and if they're better than you, that doesn't mean they're tougher than you. That's when their endurance comes into play, because the whole process of gaining endurance makes you really tough mentally. You know, you look at like David Goggins, he's doing those 100-mile races. He's extremely tough mentally. So the process, that's why people don't like to train endurance. That's why people don't want to run. That's why people don't like doing cardio, because it is an uncomfortable thing and you must suffer while you're training in that way, you know? So endurance makes you tougher than most people mentally. So if you're fighting somebody who's better than you, you better have better endurance than them. Now, that combined with the pepper spray, better endurance, you'll be able to beat their ass. Now you just need a couple things. You just need really good timing. You need to be able to weather the storm. One of my coaches used to always say, you got to be able to weather the storm. When it comes to cage fighting, you know, there's going to be moments where you're going to be, you know, you're going to have to weather a storm. You know, you just have to sit there and defend and just take it, you know, and then wait for your moment and you'll be able to come out on top. But in real life scenarios, weathering the storm could be, you know, you're on the ground, you're getting hit with big shots. Boom, pepper spray right there. The pepper spray is just such a great tool. If you don't know how to fight, or if you're beginning to fight, or if you're advanced, everybody should have pepper spray. Women, men, children, everybody should keep pepper spray on them. And that's one way you're going to be able to beat somebody who's better than you. And, you know, you get a couple moves, like an elbow, a knee, a kick, something, some type of finishing blow. That's how you're going to beat somebody who's better than you. If 100 men fight that gorilla gets pepper sprayed in the eyes, now it changes everything up. The whole thing changes up, you know? So when it comes to, you can beat somebody who's better than you, you know? It comes to being, you better be on top of your mental toughness, on top of your cardio. You better have a weapon on you like pepper spray, you know? You need to debilitate one of their senses, you know? And yeah, you can eye poke them, but mind you, if you're fighting one-on-one with the hands, they can eye poke you too. They can bite you too. They can do these things as well. So for me, if you're in a real life scenario and you must fight somebody better than you, you better have that pepper spray on you. Now, if you don't have any pepper spray, you don't have any type of weapon, any type of taser, anything, and you must fight this person, how are you going to beat them? That's where the cardio comes into play. You know, that's where knowing how to defend your vulnerable spots come into play. You know, that's where attacking their vulnerable spots comes into play. Hit them in the liver. If you hit them clean in the liver, they're going to be debilitated. You know, everybody knows about the ball shots, but the liver shot, not a whole lot of people have been hit clean in the liver or aware of how much damage getting hit in the liver can do to you. You know, if you get hit in the ear, behind the ear, and you make someone dizzy, you can get to safety, or you can do more damage because they're discombobulated, and then you go in and you try to finish them. But basically, if you're going to fight somebody who's better than you, you have to have a strategy. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. You must have a strategy. And the best way to create a strategy, I like to play video games. You fight that boss, that big titan or whatever. You have to go for their weak spots. You have to have the right timing, and you must attack the weak spots at the right time. Your defense must be on point. Your cardio must be on point. You must be able to evade shots. You must understand range control. You know, when you're safe and when you're not safe when it comes to one-on-one combat. And those things are the way you're going to beat somebody bigger and stronger than you, or who's just better at fighting than you, faster than you. You know, you must take away one of their senses, you know, and the main spots in the body are the temple, the chin, behind the ear, the nuts, the knees, the liver. These are the main spots, you know. You hit somebody in the nose, their eyes are going to water. every single spot on the body has a different effect. So understand the vulnerable spots on the human body. And if you ever get into a fight with somebody who's just better than you, make sure you're ready with your cardio being on point. Defend yourself, preferably have pepper spray. If not, then you better attack the vulnerable spots on their body and time those shots. Learn to fight.